Yeah.
I mean, was this the point when you reached out to Sue Gaskell, or was
I
that
reached out
before?
to Sue before.
Mm.
That was around about 20s. I was teaching music lessons. That's
Yeah,
what helped me to um, see Sue during the
yeah,
daytime.
yeah,
So I could like do lessons around it and things like that. So Sue Gaskell, she is a brain counsellor,
yeah,
and she was living in Derby at the time. She's now moved to New Zealand, but still does
yeah,
online counselling as well. And yeah, so she basically saw me for that time. That was again being a young lad, 20s, and I'm thinking, well, if that's a near-death experience,
yeah.
I didn't see myself being married. I'm thinking, yeah, this is not good. I'm going to just stay single, aren't I? Literally going off in my head. I'm just going to be single all my life. And because I literally, I was trying to be dating, but it wasn't happening. And I literally couldn't hold a relationship. I mean, literally, the longest relationship I had before one I'm now married to Yulia. I think the longest relationship was around about 6 weeks. So that's
Right.
how,
Yeah,
it was a one date. I was a one date man. That's how I felt it was. And yeah, so I was getting quite depressed with that side of things, thinking like I'm just, and plus also it was the repercussions of being bullied in school,
yeah,
and there's also things like self-harming going off as well. I
yeah,
was self-harming a lot because of all that physical, mental
yeah.
pain. I was using physical pain to get rid of the emotional pain.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, that
the
was good.
advert that Sue had was basically saying that I'm not a fully qualified counsellor, but I'm qualified in a lot of life experiences. And I thought, yeah, that's the one I want to go for. I didn't want to really like a clinical
Yeah,
psychologist kind of feeling.
yeah,
So I wanted someone that's got a lot of experiences. When I came and sat with her, I told her lots and lots of things, got lots of things off my shoulders. And she said, Paul, you're like a swan swimming on the lake. So you're looking beautiful and graceful, but really your legs are going,
yeah,
and that's how I felt really. Yeah,
yeah. A lot of hard work going on underneath,
yeah,
but yeah,
definitely,
so things under the surface. So, I mean, she was a quite integral part of your life, wasn't it? Really, to
definitely.
yeah, around that time, and
Yeah,
become good
definitely.
friends.
Yeah, good friends as
Yeah,
well. Yeah, I had one-to-one counselling for about a couple of years. Got rid of a lot of things off my shoulders,
yeah,
and basically then I went into like group therapy and met a lot of lovely people that I'd also one-to-one, but then wanted to have a nice group, and yeah, that was amazing experiences. Lots of sharing each other's lives, and yeah, it was really helping each other really, which is nice. Community.
yeah, yeah, and I think that can be quite helpful in a group situation sometimes, where you're sharing with other people. It sort of normalizes things, mental health a little bit more. I think from
Definitely.
obviously
Yeah.
sounds that way for yourself, and sharing your issues and difficulties. So, I
Mhm.
mean, Paul, just to move forward, because I think, because you mentioned about the prediction as well with Russia and this,
Mm.
and the difficulty dating, and in the book, it's not, you wasn't sure to getting attention from the females, may I add, but your life took a turn, and it involved Russia, didn't it? Because
Yeah.
I think you went to Russia, and to where you met your wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So how it happened was basically my friend Lee. Basically, he was a pianist as well, so
yeah,
musical like myself. We met at college, and I met great people. Lee was one of them, and Dave as well. I'm still keeping contact with both people. Very good organist is Dave as well, and yeah. So anyway, so Lee was going off into places playing piano. He met a lovely lady waitress at the time, but also a very, very good pianist as well.
wow,
And so she's a Russian lady. And so whilst they're dating each other, they said, "Do you want to just contact Yulia?" And she wants to learn English. I said, "Okay, fine, no problem at all." And And I knew that from writing to each other, it was just that she wants to learn English. She wasn't after a relationship. And by that time, I'm early 30s, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, right, we'll just go with, let's just go with it, shall we? And so it gave me something to do as well. So that's another thing. It was a bit of a hobby to say what it's like in England. She learned a bit of English, and I learned a bit of Russian, of course. And then 2 years or 3 years later, Lee and Kate gets married in Russia. So off I went over to Russia, met Yulia, and by that time, Anya, her daughter, was about 2 years old. So we've been always, obviously, from her birth, from actually having been pregnant to the birth, and then all that kind of thing. So I've known her I've known Anya from day one. So anyway, so by that time, she's a baby, quite young still, and I'm saying hi to her, but obviously she's not aware of me really. And then anyway, Yulia is not really talkative in the sense of like knowing a lot of English language to talk to me. So we're just in like water, Vada, so I'm learning Russian a little bit, and she's learning a bit more English with me, but nothing happened, no spark. Then anyway, the marriage happened. I came back to England. We continued to write to each other. A couple of years goes down the line, and I'm still drinking then quite a lot. And I'm thinking, and I'm thinking then by the 2 years, I'm thinking really I need to move house. That was my head thinking like, if I'm in this house, I'm going to die. So I then put my house on the market. It wasn't happening, and it came off the market. I ended up with a bit of money, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to take that money and use it as another holiday. And I went off to Russia again. So I went off to Russia again just to say hi to Yulia, have a proper holiday this time. We didn't do. It was more about the wedding. The previous one. So this one was seeing the Red Square. It was all sorts of things. It was amazing. So we went to Russia. Yulia's then learned a lot more English, and by that time, Anya was older, and she started saying "Papa this, Papa that." I'm like, is she saying I'm dad? And Yulia's like saying, yeah, she's saying you're dad. Yeah. I'm like, okay, which was quite cute. And I was thinking like, that's nice, it's nice. Anyway, so the day before the flight home, we went to Moscow, went to the Red Square, went to Kremlin, all this kind of thing. And then we went to this white church, Golden Globes, massive church, beautiful place. Went inside it, and we're looking around, and it's very like, wow, it's beautiful, and we went quite philosophical. I can't remember the conversation fully, but like I say, Yulia's English by then, it's a lot better than my Russian, and I basically then said about my near-death experience, and so we sat down, started talking about it, and said, about what things I learned, and she started like going to like tears. I'm like, what's wrong? And I mutually, I just go like, oh, come here. And then she's like, her head's on my shoulder. I'm like, everything's okay, everything's good. And she looks at me, I'm looking at her, and then I'm like, okay, the spark has just gone off my head. Again, like, I want this to stay. I'm quite happy with this. And she's looking at me like, I'm liking this too, kind of thing. And we were like so confused, because from just being pen pal to thinking like, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be Russia and holidays but anyway, we had a lot of dates. I went to Russia a lot. She came to England. Anya came to England a few times as well. And eventually got married in Russia, 2008.
Wow, and all with the predictions as well, and the connections with Russia, and just the way it worked out. And obviously they do a wedding a bit different, which is in the book. So if people read the book, they can read all about that and how different.
So I didn't see the white wedding. I saw a gathering of some sort,
Yeah.
a special gathering.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise it was not a white wedding in that way. No.
Wow. So
Yeah.
again, and your wife she's a talented musician as well, which is you've got that in common, haven't you? That commonality.
Yeah, definitely. She's a violinist and very, very talented lady. And she does concerts. So I put many videos on YouTube. Check them out. Paul Northridge. So you'll see her playing if you like.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, it's almost in the book. It's like I felt so good for you when this happened and you two met. So for me with the book, that's for the impact like that. It felt really real when I can imagine it. And I felt really good for you. That you'd met somebody and you both work well together and you accept each other, which is the relationship. I mean, no relationship's perfect, but you've found that connection, that's soulmate, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah, Paul, do you want to tell us a little bit about the wedding? Because it wasn't what you was used to, because things are a little bit different in Russia as well, aren't they? And you was your Russian language at that time.
I think still is.
Yeah. So I mean, if you just tell us a little bit about that, because it's quite fascinating in the book as well.
Yeah. So basically, So when I was in getting married for the Russian wedding, we decided that Yulia wanted a turquoise dress. The reason why is because she'd been previously married, and so that was a white wedding type thing, and so she wanted a little bit different for this one. So I had a matching shirt color to her dress as well, and so it was quite unified in that way. So the wedding was brilliant. It was in a registry office type thing, and best thing about it for Yulia's side, because she's a violinist and very talented one, like I said earlier. She was also playing in the registry office in a quartet. So every time it was a wedding, she was playing the violin for weddings, and so she knew the people that was playing in the wedding as well, which is nice. And then there was a lady next to me doing the translation, so I was hearing what the person was saying to get us officially married together, and that was really good. And then once all that happened, everyone came around me, was cheers, champagne, and was breaking some kind of a bread. It's like you have to dip it in some salt and all sugar, and everyone had a piece. I'm offering this bread out to people, and and I learned a little bit of Russian. Don't get me wrong, I'm not fluent. Yulia is very, very fluent in English. Makes me feel really. But I speak very good gobbledygook, and I speak very good English. On good days, I speak very good English. On bad days, I'm gobbledygook. Terrible. This and that don't always want to work out, unfortunately. But I think that's part of my issue as well. From because when I was younger, I had speech therapy as well.
All right. Yeah.
So I think I had struggles with speech when I was younger, and it's kind of like stayed with me a little bit. When I found out later on in life, they did a scan on my brain, and because of the hydrocephalus. It basically had ended up with a thing called a Chiari malfunction.
Right.
It's basically a bit of a squashed brain. It was a bit squashed.
Yeah.
And so things are not always working out too well. And I think that makes me feel a bit more tired.
Yeah.
But anyway, I go back to Russia. I'm very tangent. So I'm a book. I'm very tangent.
Yeah.
But the wedding was brilliant though, and the things I can always, and it will always stay in my brain. basically my dad-in-law, he's no longer here, God bless him. He basically he picked up Julia. He was dancing with her on "I Do, I Do, I Do" in ABBA, doing the song "I Do, I Do, I Do," and so he's dancing with her, and then he picks her up in his arms, and Julia's face like, what? What are you doing, Dad? He like picked her up, and then he's like holding her. And then he's bringing them towards me. He's sitting down, and he basically then gives her him. He passes her to me, and I'm like dancing with her, while swaying with her on the sofa. So that was a memory that will always stay with me. Yeah.
What a great moment, and time in your life, to find that partnership and that person,
definitely,
and not just that person, a beautiful daughter. And
exactly. I mean, she, obviously being a Russian girl, she had to then come to England with Yulia, and it was quite funny at the start because she's like, Yulia's translating to Anya all this stuff, and then Anya's then talking to Yulia, and then translating to me. So it's a bit like a mediation going off all the time. But then, because she was so young, she picked up English so easily. We basically threw her, sounds horrible, but we threw her into school. She arrived in August. September, she was in school, and not knowing any English hardly. All she did was like nursery rhymes. She was learning nursery rhymes in Russia, in English, like rain in Spain, all that kind of stuff. But she didn't know much English. And but anyway, by doing that, it made her, young brain absorb, and she did absorb really well. And now you won't even know she's Russian. She's got a Derbyshire accent and all that kind of stuff. So, and now she's at uni. She's doing sports rehabilitation. So she's doing really, really well. And that's where we are at the moment.
Wow, life's good. Sounds of it, with things. So, I mean, just to ask them, Paul, what prompted you to write the book? What was really behind that?
The book was done, I think, early 40s. I had this idea to have an autobiography going off around that time, because I thought it's a good time to do it, and because a lot of things went off, and I'm thinking really the main part of it was the near-death experience. I wanted people to know what it's like, and to know everything's okay when you die. Try to think of it as like a birth, death, life goes on, and all that kind of thing, and not to take it. I mean, yes, it's heartbreaking when people die, but at the end of the day, it's still memories go on and all that kind of thing as well. So I tried to give people the feelings of that. I wanted to help people about self-harm. I want to help people about depression. If anyone had a disability, I wanted people to work out why we're here with disabilities, all that kind of thing as well. So and also to have a bit of humor, like I said in my book, it's all about humor as well. I got all emotions going off, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I try to always have a bit of a laugh as well in the middle.
Wow. I mean, like I say, I had a copy of the book. I bought it a while ago, and then we'll give it the title. It's called Walk of Life, Feet on the Ground. And when did that come out, Paul? How long ago was that now? Because when you published it?
Yeah, about 6 years ago.
6 years,
6 years ago. Yeah. I mean, I basically did it a few goes. I wrote it in third person. Paul is da-da-da, Paul is da-da-da. Yeah. And I gave it to my cousin Russ to read it, and he liked it. Don't get me wrong, he liked it. And then I'm thinking, but then there's also feedback saying not third person though, and so rewrote it again, and so I did all that. And then once I was really, really happy with it, I gave it to Michael Feely. Michael Feely. Again, we've had him on Unite Planet, and great guy. He knows his stuff about so many things. He's excellent
researcher and Yeah, he's
Yeah,
doing well at the moment as well, isn't he? On Iconic and
yeah,
projects like that.
exactly. He
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And
His books.
yeah, so he basically also has a publishing company,
Yeah,
and it's called Sasmic. So I
yeah,
think it's like Sarah and Mick,
yeah,
Michael.
yeah,
So Sasmic Publishing read my book, and I said to Mick, do you think it's going to be good enough to publish? So he read it, and he said, Paul, get it out there. I'm like, okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
off I went, and I said, would you mind doing it for me? And they said, yeah, I'd love to. So they did it for me, and they're brilliant. They also then gave it a proofreader from their own
yeah,
connections. The
yeah,
proofreader was awesome, amazing. She made it so she basically showed me, Paul, this is the red bits are the bits that I've changed. Okay, so she
yeah,
gave me that to read.
yeah.
Literally, there was like red. Yeah, the whole thing was
Yeah,
like, okay. So she basically changed it. So many things. She did an amazing job.
shined out the wrinkles. Type
Yeah,
of thing,
exactly.
and yeah, yeah, they're good at that.
Lots of wrinkles.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did.
I mean,
And
he
yeah,
reads really well, actually.
yeah.
Flows really well, with the timeline, and you do jump back. It's not linear. There's some jumping back and then going forward. So it's not a straight ahead thing. It's really good the way it reads and the way the chapters are broke up.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. So I mean, that's like I say. With that, I just want to understand a bit with the Unite Planet thing and how that started, because that involved Johnny Sinclair, who I've met and good friends with as well, yourselves, and you've had me on, and it's been, I've just felt it's been really great that I can sort of repay back a little bit. Not that it's like that, but it's nice to be able to ask you on and do it the other way around rather than talking about me. I wanted to have you on and talk about you and your book, and yeah.
Thank you.
So how did that get started?
So I think around about again 40s, around the same time as the book, maybe a little bit before actually. I was thinking I wanted to do something about near-death experiences and spiritualism and all sorts of things like that. And something came to my head. Again, I don't think sometimes our thoughts are really our own thoughts. I think sometimes I'm tapping into something. It's not. I don't think I'm always thinking these things. I think things are being fed into me. So a thought came to my head, thinking like, you're not panicked, okay? And I thought, okay, well let's go with it then. And then I gave someone an idea to do me a logo, and I wanted like nice colours and warm colours, and so she came up with this idea, and I thought, that logo is, it's my kind of thing. And when I saw that, I thought, that's exactly what I was hoping for, and so she did an amazing job on that logo for me, but then it just sat. By myself, I'm not really. I'm like I've probably been hearing already. When I'm by myself, I'm not that brilliant. I need something to spark off. So on Facebook, Johnny Sinclair, who I met from Thornton's, he was still on Facebook with me as a friend. Not seen him for a long time, but obviously through friends on Facebook. He was posting things about 9/11 and all the top things that I was also posting about, because lots of things didn't ring true for 9/11 for me. And so he was basically saying the same thing. And I thought, nice guy, same thoughts, and I'm not seeing him for ages. So let's meet up with him. So I went off to a pub, talked about the idea of Planet and what I wanted to do with it, interview guests, and just talk about all sorts of things. And he said, Paul, I love it, I want to do it. And I'm thinking, okay, good. So the ball in motion happened, and Andrew Johnson, we basically went off to watch a conference in was it Sheffield? The Gary Hazeltine runs.
Oh yes, UFO
Yeah.
Truth magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So we went there, and Andrew Johnson was there, and he did a brilliant conference presentation there.
Yeah.
And had a few chats with him, and found out he was very local to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I said, "Would you mind doing a chat about 9/11?" And then he said, "Yeah." So he kicked it off really. But if he said no, it probably wouldn't have gone off at all.
Yeah.
So with him saying yes, and so that really helped a lot to get Planet going, really.
Yeah, helped you establish. I mean, that's how I found you, was through Andrew's interview, actually. So
Exactly.
yeah. So it's funny how things work out. And he's been on your show numerous times, hasn't he, about different subjects? Because Andrew's covers quite a few subjects, and
he does.
Brother, I really like yours and John's rapport. What you had, you've got the humorous side as well with your videos that you do.
Oh dear me! Oh dear!
Oh Johnny, are you okay, pal? You're all right, mate.
Yeah, just got a bit of wood.
It's not all serious and doom and gloom or anything. I mean, you covers different subjects. It's not just the conspiratorial stuff, but you touch on the paranormal, spiritual. You've done the field trips, haven't you, as well, which I've seen on your YouTube.
That's correct.
Some really great content there.
Definitely. Thank you. And
I think you took on Bernardo, got involved with that, didn't he? Bernardo and Donna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. We tend to not have Bernardo. He's doing his own thing now. As well. And Donna still keep in contact with each other, but I think she wants to again do her own thing, which is completely fine. It happens. We're not in any way with that on Donna. But Johnny himself are still doing many things, but at the moment, Planet is a bit more quiet because of I'm doing a counselling course now.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm doing level 2 at the moment, and at the same time, I'm doing another course for work. So I'm doing 2 level 2 courses. Therefore, I'm doing lots of assignments at the moment, and I can't do anything more with Planet at the moment. So. But it will be back. It will be back.
Yeah. Well, you did put out a lot of content, over the years, and it's not a bad thing to have a little bit of a break. And it takes a lot of brain power with studying as well. So it's good that you're perhaps focusing on, the here and now of what's prioritised, isn't it? I guess for yourself. And. I mean, at some point I'd like to have Bernardo on, because, like you say, he's gone off on a different path. And see what his journey's about as well. So
he's got his own thing.
So obviously, it's back to that helping role, isn't it? Again, Paul, with the counselling. And is this something you're pursuing? Up to training level. What's your your intention with the counselling courses?
I want to get fully qualified. I mean, I'm 50, but I still feel quite young in my head. So I feel like I can go into retirement still doing the role. So that's what I want to do, and just help people to get their lives back to some normality again. I think all this lockdown stuff is going to be major repercussions, and not just that, lots of things that's gone off anyway. But I think COVID has caused a lot of mental health issues, I'm sure.
It's had quite a knock-on effect for people, hasn't it? I guess in the long run, the bigger picture, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So again, I'm just, while I'm here, I'm going to promote Unite Planet, because you kindly sent me 2 T-shirts, which I do wear with pride. Just hold them up. And I really like that. I really like the bit at the bottom as well. don't fight, let's unite. So is that
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So where is it there?
Yeah.
So here to unite and not fight. Please come and join us. I mean, it's great. Thanks for the t-shirts, which you
Oh, you're welcome.
a good while ago. You sent me them.
Yeah. It's it's just the idea of not to be anything to do with like differences, because I think the major game that the people that we can't see behind the scenes, I think the people that run the politicians, that's what the major thing is. They basically are divide and conquer is the biggest rule that they play by.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you say, it's one thing that we're in a diverse society, let's say, but on the other hand, that can be exploited, I guess. The more we divide society, then people with different or not good agendas can really use that against us sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, as much as I like people to embrace themselves and pursue their authentic self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It can be a bit difficult because of judgment.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, people are very proud of their heritages and stuff like that. Yeah. But that to be proud, it's like what George Carlin said about being proud. It's basically, you say he's Irish in nature, but the thing is, he was born into it. So how can you be? It's not something that you've achieved. To be proud of. Something to be proud of. Something you've done and achieved. Yeah. So I don't really get all this like I'm black and I'm proud of it, or I'm white and I'm proud of it. It doesn't matter. It's your character that like Martin Luther King will say. It's more about your character than anything else, and I think that's right. Yeah.
It's like you say, get the content of the character, isn't it, rather than perhaps the color of somebody's skin, or sexuality, or whatever. Really, Yeah. And I suppose it goes back to, like you say, with your near-death experience about the realms of, we are just consciousness, really. But I suppose in the five sense world, they want us to identify with something.
Yes.
Again, creating more division, isn't it? The more you divide something up, the more division you have.
Exactly. And that's it.
Seems to be the way, It does. And like we say, we want people to be themselves and authentic. But again, with that can be quite frightening for people to be themselves because of judgment, about that difference again. But I mean, you do go in at the end of the book, don't you? You cover some of this 9/11 and things like that in the back of the book, don't you? Which you mention about that.
Yeah, I got about I can't remember how many bullet points. I think it's got about 15 bullet points in there, same way. I mean, so it's been criticised a little bit on that, saying it went into a bit of conspiracy theory at the end, which is fine. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I can understand that. But I mean, if they understood things like Building 7 going down by itself without being any plane hitting it. I mean, how many buildings take an office fire and then just suddenly goes down? It's that doesn't happen as far as I can remember. There's not been an office fire and then the whole bit. Look at Grenfell Towers. It burned for how long? Did it fall down?
Didn't fall down. Again, like you say there, again that need to label somebody conspiracy theorist, or you're talking conspiracy theories. I'm not going to get on my platform too much, but it can be used. That's quite a derogatory. It's how you feel, and your opinion, and people don't have to fall out over somebody else's perspective or frame of reference on an event. But it just seems lately they talk a bit like a crime to think differently, which is a bit of a shame, really. And I agree. Myself, and probably I don't want to put words in your mouth, but to be labelled sometimes a conspiracy theorist or whatever, or believing in those type of things is can be a bit derogatory toward the person.
Exactly.
Rather than being a bit free and people do have different opinions, or they don't want to look at that stuff. That's fine, just
Yeah,
scroll
that's
through.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's like conspiracy theory was really a term used more, I think, towards the JFK side of things, from what I remember.
Yeah. Jim
Because,
Garrison.
yeah. Yeah, because they didn't want people to start thinking that one shooter could have done all that kind of bullets and that kind of thing. So thinking like, let's use a derogatory term, conspiracy theory, and it stayed then after that, really. And it's a shame, really. I like to really say a bit more like a critical thinker kind of thing, rather than a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, and Andrew always reminds us, he's there's a difference between belief and knowledge, and evidence and belief. Can't take a belief into the courtroom, can you? And they'd want evidence. So and often I think that's a bit of a fuzzy area, isn't it, in people's thinking at the moment?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, from the 9/11 side of things, how could an airplane fly so low to the Pentagon and then hit the Pentagon, at such a speed? I mean, lots of pilots saying like, how can that, that low, that speed? Plus also amateur pilots and all that kind of thing. Plus also the Pentagon, major building that they maybe have weaponry to stop things going off like that. It's lots of things like going off in my head, and and people should really question that one, and they should also question the one that went into the ground. It basically went into like a sinkhole. The airplane just like
Shanksville.
Can't see. Shanksville. Yeah. I mean, that in itself is also a bit of a mystery, in my opinion.
But I mean, again, you when you question that, you can often get you shouldn't question it because it's going to upset the family members and things like that. Which again, at the end of the day, I think people are trying to just look for the truth, aren't they? And I can't think of any other higher form of respect to family members than getting to the bottom of the truth. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's why my hat's off to you, matey, on that one, because you do it for the good enough reasons, and that's why you're great researcher, and same like with Andrew as well, brilliant researchers. So keep doing it, mate.
Well, thank you. But Paul, we're nearing the end now, and I feel like it's been a great catch up with you and an interview, and to really talk about your book, because it's something I've wanted to talk about for a long time, which I've been back and forth with you about it, haven't I, for quite a while.
Thank you.
It just feels really good that I could have you on the show and talk about this book. So just for people, I'll put the links below on Amazon. Perhaps you can tell us where they can get the book, Paul.
Yeah, Amazon definitely, and there's also like Goodreads, and I think it's on Woodstones, I believe. As far as I remember, I think it's on Woodstones. But I think Amazon is the major one, and you can get it as a what's it called, ebook as well through Amazon. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to get it. My daughter's actually had the idea just recently about Audible, and we're going to try and get it on Audible in the near future.
Wow, that'd be great. Because I do subscribe to Audible, so I do catch a lot of books like that when I'm on the move or I'm doing tasks. I can listen to the book in the background. So it's good to get that on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I just got Mark Devlin's book actually as well.
Oh, gosh.
Even though I've got them in hardback, I've got a couple of his volumes, so I've got a couple of his on Audible, which is good to just put on in if you're in the car and things like that. So and Unite Planet is on hold for a little bit, but you will be back.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be back, and much stronger and powerful. We'll have a website up as well. We've got a guy that's it's in the background, and he will get that working. We're going to go for more. Plus, I'm getting better with the old counselling course and other things that I'm doing as well. Then we'll get it all going again, and so looking like early next year that we'll get the website up as well.
Wow, brilliant. Well, I'll put all the links in the show notes and redirect people over to your to get your book and, even contact you and reach out to you.
Thank
You're
you.
on Facebook, aren't you? You're author. You're on Facebook.
Yeah, it's Facebook, the author page. So Paul Northridge, I think it's Paul Northridge author or book or something.
Yeah.
And then also Unite Planets is on Facebook as well. Also YouTube, you can find us there. BitChute. YouTube is terrible with censoring our videos, by the way. I've noticed a lot of content just vanishing, and we've had a few strikes saying, don't do that again.
Yeah.
I've been told off for saying lots of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently hate speech. Unite Planet is all about hate speech. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So any future, is there any future plans for another book at all, Paul? I know right at the moment, not that, but is there anything in the back of your mind that you might consider doing another book or?
Funny enough, we've started doing another one. It's about I don't know what the title will be exactly, but at the moment it's what is a Unite Planet, and basically just going through how I see utopia. And how to get there. Especially, we need a whole new reset on the government side of things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be too political, but for a party leader who's done the opposite of like stay safe, lock down, all this kind of thing, and he's done completely 360 of that. So that really in itself is saying like, we put these people into power. We have the power to put them in, and then they're telling us what to do. It's like it's the wrong way of it's the wrong way of thinking.
Yeah,
we put them in. They should be then our voices. That's what they was there for originally, but they're not our voices anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
We need a lie detector test at these elections, and all that kind of thing should go off.
Yeah.
Honestly, I generally believe that. We need something like a lie detector, or everyone should have a go on what's it called, ayahuasca.
Yeah. Do you think you'd get many MPs if you had to do like a lie detector test? I'm not sure. I'm not sure you would.
No.
Yeah. They are a
great
different
ones. At a debate. Did you have a party at Christmas time? It's also attached to a little bit of electric shock. No, I didn't attend any parties.
Yeah. I've seen an experiment like that once where they done that on people with electric shocks. Well, pretended to do the Milgram experiment. Do you remember? I think I might have posted it. Yeah, but that would be a really good experiment for MPs, just to get some honest, some. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but there's a select few who seem to be running the show, who seem to run everything. But absolutely. Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show and on the podcast.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
And sharing your experience. I hope it hasn't been too too much for you, but I really enjoyed the book, and I thought it'd be nice to really lay that out.
Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed marketing. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's nice energy, nice, relaxed, and I've enjoyed talking to you so much. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks ever so much for coming on, and hopefully we can have you on again and talk about anything we want to talk about or you want to talk about in the future.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Really enjoy that. So I'm going to leave it there. So check the show notes for Paul's book and the links for that and Unite Planet, and give him a thumbs up if you visit his Facebook, and purchase the book if you can afford it, and support Paul. So look after yourself, Paul, and we'll see everybody again soon. Bye for now.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.